Hello, all.
Hi.
As opposed to my customary whiskey, I'm super caffeinating today because I'm late in my workday because of my little internet situation. All right, so where we are with the Nunchi retreats is the past month I've been focusing on doing kind of some of the admin stuff, like researching getting insurance and kind of like the forms that I'll need, and really concentrating on putting some stuff out there in terms of blog posts and Facebook posts. Daniela, who's my partner in crime doing all the baking stuff, has taken over like the Instagram. So she's starting to do posts around that. So you'll see kind of we're basically like kind of going out there. I ran a Facebook ad a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when I ran it, just to kind of like get my feet wet and see how that would work out. I'm running run right now to try to get sign up. So right now I have one little sign up. Sad. But I always kind of had a backup plan because I'm a project manager, so there's always a backup plan. I always saw this weekend really as gathering marketing materials, getting video, and then, getting some stills around it. So I don't see that changing. What that will change, however, is I might go for a smaller house and then turn it into getting some more of those like bites things. I can still do it as a promo. I can still do it whatever. I'm going to try to get a couple of other people to just come on as like, hey, just like come so I can have like people around to shoot it. I've already started looking at some alternate Airbnbs. I still want that first house because it's so nice and you guys know I'm obsessed with it. That said, I did find a couple of good options and I contacted people. It would be way cheaper in terms of just the money I would have to outlay to kind of get this going. So I'm actually kind of excited about operating it that way. So I'm going to give it to this weekend to see what other signups I get. And if I don't, then I'll just try to troll some friends. Either way, I'm going to do it and get like stuff shot because I think that's hugely important. And that's going to get us like where we need to be. And if we have the freedom of not having people, we can have a little bit more fun with the things that we shoot, like go find the farmer's market, go do all this stuff, and like really make this like a big like content capture weekend. So, and now that I like subscribe all the way to this stuff, but my horoscope said that weekend was going to be glorious. So I'm going to go with that. And we're going to have a glorious weekend. So that's where I am. Actually, what I did today was I had a conference call with a kind of sales automation funnel, like sales automation company, like CRM automation, I should say, company that helps small businesses, and actually thought their stuff was really interesting. I want to take a deeper dive into like their website and see what their reputation is out there. But what I thought was really good is the kind of CRM services that are usually provided to like big businesses at big money. I know because I've worked on those kind of projects. They're doing it at a much smaller cost. So they sort of gave me the idea of like, oh, that wouldn't be a bad way to go about it. I mean, you still have to come up with your own creative, but they can basically tag everything so that if somebody clicks on this aspect of the site, they get this kind of communication. You send a newsletter and then they interact with this part of it. And then you basically create a whole user journey in terms of CRM that then drops you off into like sign up. So I think that will be a good lead generation option. I think I need to kind of play that game too for what I'm doing while like really ramping up social media and getting awareness out there. And I think once we get this footage and all this stuff that we're going to do, it helps all of that, because then how we even see that, including in newsletters, including in social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Snapchat. I think even leading up to the weekend, we can be like, hey, watch out for our big, like, I don't know, reveal weekend or whatever. Follow us on Snapchat. I don't know. I think there's a few different ways we can play with this. So yeah, no, like Gianna would love to have a proper sit down with you and then let's brainstorm some ideas and put like a shot list together, like high level, not so strict that we don't, have fun, but
You're muted. Yeah, sorry, we have it on mute right now for the music in here.
No, I got you. I saw what you're stepping in. Have you never heard that before?
I have. I just always so gross. But yeah, we can use part of today to do that if you want.
Yeah.
I usually don't get too specific on shot lists and everything anyway, and usually capture that and then go completely off that track. We usually just write more and more stuff, but I do like to have a plan. So
yes, no, that's
it'll be
a
pretty basic.
I want to have a plan. Like if we're looking at this in terms of like, I would love to get 1 or 2 more people, because then it gets to be like more of a, I don't want to say staging it, but a little bit more one-on-one, like kind of interaction that you wouldn't necessarily get to show in a larger group setting. Not that the larger group setting is not a good thing to show as well, but just, so people sort of have a sense of like, this is the kind of attention you're going to get, this is how it's going to be taught, and things like that. I think that gives us that opportunity, and also gives us the opportunity to play up that whole getaway aspect. So I found this one house that's I'll send you links after this.
Please do. Actually, this would be really good to get a feel of what they
so
look like.
There's one house that I don't love where the stove is because it's against the wall and it's not on the island, but it gets such great like natural light. Right? I was like, oh, and it looks like I've been reading up the description. They're like, so internet here sucks, so good luck. But like, it looks like a house that's in the middle of a field, nestled in the woods. You can do that whole like getaway, like whatever.
We can get cool shots outside too. Uh-oh, she froze.
Martine.
Going that way, I go and talk to Daniela, because some of the stuff we were gonna do with the retreat, like we would do like quick hit kind of baking stuff. But I think if we're gonna do it that way and much more of trying to capture content, I would want to get a bit more in depth in terms of baking. Like maybe do like a full cake, maybe do a full like tart or whatever, like specific recipes, just to kind of show that aspect a bit more, and then talk about how the skill sets cross-pollinate between cooking and baking and how like both of them apply. So that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Good. Should be.
I don't know. Like every time, like I don't know. Like I still say I have really good. And my horoscope said it's gonna be a glorious weekend.
It's gonna be a glorious weekend.
What weekend is it?
The weekend of the 28th. Why do you want to come and
Froze again.
your Cambodia scarf?
Unfreeze yourself.
Oh wait, what?
Oh,
okay, we're good.
I'm like, I could hear you, and you weren't frozen. Did you hear that bit? I said you can come and wear your Cambodia scarf.
Oh, fun. I feel like I need a big kitchen knife too. I don't know why.
Those help when cooking.
If you feel like you need to what?
I feel like I need a big kitchen knife too with my scarf. I feel like it would go well.
I'll get you your own personal cleaver.
Oh yeah.
It's a big boy knife. So yeah, let's talk, like, I guess for a part of this, Gianna, about like how like just brainstorm how we can set this up. And
I'll hop on my computer after this and we can like chat stuff.
And then I'll talk to Daniela about like kind of the course correct on this, but also just blowing out some more of the pastry stuff, and also I don't know, just us being.
Man.
I want to go to a farmer. What? Why can't you see me? Can you hear me at least?
Now you're good.
Can you
repeat what you were gonna say to Daniela?
No, I would say like whatever we talk about, like I will then go talk to her about, just make sure that she's on board.
Okay.
And then we can take it from there. And then it's just a matter of getting my equipment and things like that. And I can share some of the fun stuff with you too.
I thought of you today.
In the house. You did? What did you think?
Yeah, I found fruit in a cafe place. I took a picture.
Oh, yay! Send that
maybe
to
more.
me. Send that to me. I will use it and give you photo credit.
Yay. This one's got bananas too.
Oh, that's awesome. Actually, I should see if people have some like nice market pictures from around the world.
You know,
That would be fun to play with.
I have a ton for you.
there's another one. I mean, there's tons of awesome photo sites, but there's one called Unsplash. Yeah, UN Splash, and they send out high-res photos in an email like once a week. Just really nice photos, stock images, maybe, I don't know, but
That you're allowed
they're
to
kind of
use.
interesting. Yeah, they're just free
Okay.
to use. I think however you want. Unsplash.
Royalty free, huh?
Yeah, you can sign up for that and you can get a newsletter. I've tried it.
All right, I will look into that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Thoughts, comments, concerns.
I think that sounds good.
What was the name of the little DRM you're going to use?
Hold please. Infusionsoft. FYI, Ethan, this is being recorded.
Did you say my headphone fell out?
It's being recorded.
Oh, yeah.
But I have the file, so I edited it real quick.
Good luck editing that.
You can't edit it if I'm still talking.
I'm going to say it's still on screen.
I'll just take a slice out of it.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Infusionsoft.
Infusionsoft.
Let
Interesting.
me see if I can get there.
Might take a look at it.
Infusionsoft. It's a small business sales and marketing software. I'm gonna
Cool.
throw it in the channel.
All right. Well, good spotlight.
All right. Well, thank you.
Is there anything we can help you with figuring out?
I think the thing to figure out is sort of how to craft it in terms of capturing content, which is more of a new kind of conversation. General though, yeah, I think it's really just ramping up kind of CRM, kind of whatever. I like the idea of using a software like this. What I'm probably going to do is check like MailChimp and those guys and see what solutions they also offer. Because it's kind of along those lines, but it's like, I know you can send newsletters and stuff like that with those guys, but do they give you the whole, I can slice and dice based on people's response, like retargeting and stuff like that? Like planning out that whole thing still has to be done outside of that system anyway. And building up that content has to be done outside of the system. If that's done, if I can just like drop it and move forward, then I think what I would do following the weekend is essentially spend a few weeks just getting all that content together. When I say a few weeks, maybe like a month, but like within 2 weeks, start rolling things out so that by week 4, the plan's done, any content around sales and marketing is done, and it's just a matter of sending them out, not sending them out. And then what I want to do is then October, November, December, have retreats lined up.
Okay.
And I'm going to definitely try hard to sell custom retreats too. So like people might be like, I can't do that date, but like, okay, well, grab 3 or 4, like we'll say minimum 4 of your friends and let's talk. And then we'll figure out a plan that works kind of situation. Because I think that might be some of the holdback too, is like people, and I know for this one, like a bunch of people, it's like, I really want to do it. I can't make this thing.
That might be where you make even more money.
Right. So giving those 2 options of just like, here are our custom dates, and then ideally what I want to do is like 1 month, like this is our date, we're running a retreat, sign up for it, and then keep the rest of the time open and free for more custom stuff, whether it's groups of friends, whether it's corporate, whether it's whatever, kind of do stuff like that too, and then start really plug it in to like local people who are in the space and getting the name out there.
Very cool. I was thinking about the marketing aspect, and I think since your retreats are like a limited, like small number group, that your strongest asset should be, or could be, word of mouth. Yeah. And since it's very local too, you don't need to reach out to people in California or like people really far away as much as you do people around New York.
Yeah, and a lot of the Facebook ads I've targeted has been mostly in New York. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, not even like within 50-mile radius. And I hit a couple of others just like to fill it in because the target group is so small. But ideally, to your point, I see this as like very New York centric to start. And as more people do it, then it's like, oh, because I don't want to have in New York. I want to be going other places with it. Like I want to be getting on a flight to do something. But getting it started, I think the first few retreats definitely will probably end up being in New York because of just proximity and where my network is and just pushing that hard.
Yeah, I think so. Just like talking about it a lot. I was telling Gianna today about how I take my card game with me everywhere I go, and I always have it on me. Like I'll be talking to someone.
I didn't show you guys. I have business cards and they're fly. And
oh yeah? Yeah. Where are they?
Let's see. I can do that.
Hold please. Hold please.
That'd be good.
Ooh.
That's really nice. I like it.
So the thing that I also did, because I went with this red and black, is I updated the site a little bit so that the dominant color is mostly red.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to get a version of the logo that's red and black and try to use that as much as possible. I think still that, I think in terms of like printed materials, if it's going to be black and white, the black and white logo makes the most sense. But anything where we're going to use color, I think this is pretty powerful.
Good.
I like the red.
Right? Isn't it nice?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a little matte finish. We're having our American Psycho moment, talking about business cards.
Yeah.
It's like matte, but still glossy. It feels really nice.
Satiny.
Yeah,
satiny. Look at my name, y'all. It doesn't have a title because I don't believe in titles.
I like the.
I believe in hierarchy, but I don't believe in titles. Because I need some minions.
Yeah.
I watched the Minions movie the other day, and I thought of you.
Can you believe I've actually never seen the Minions movies?
I mean, it's not quite the concept.
You don't need to watch it.
It's so funny. It's so cute. It's so weird. You don't need to watch it. I really enjoyed it. Ethan fell asleep.
Yeah.
So we watched it again.
Not enough action for you, Ethan?
No. I said we could probably pick it up again in the middle because I wouldn't have missed any plot. So.
I don't think Minions is meant to have a plot. It's meant to be fun.
It does. I mean, it's fun, but they also like go on a journey together to save their tribe and find a boss.
Anyways, I had another cool idea.
Yes.
Maybe this is a future expansion or maybe not even an idea to pursue at all. But I thought it would be cool if you had some sort of partnership with a local restaurant and like they carried one of your dishes at that restaurant and then they could help market it, and people that really love that dish that they're making there, they could also like learn how to make that dish by going to one of your retreats.
Not a bad idea. One thing that I've been, Danielle and I have been talking to her and her brother did a pop-up restaurant a while back.
Oh, there you go.
And on her Instagram, you'll see the pictures of it. It's glorious. So we've been talking about like we should do another one and just have some kind of, so kind of going with your idea a little bit, but it's just like we kind of control the whole money. Like her and brother would do another one, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, co-sponsored or co-hosted by Nunchi Retreats, and kind of get the name out that way so that people get to, have a whole experience of a pop-up restaurant and eat the food. And then, hey girl, do you want to learn how to make this?
Wait, how long ago was it? I'm on her Instagram now.
I don't remember.
I know her Instagram.
Oh, please. Let me see.
All bakery stuff.
No, it's I think it was on her. I'm trying to figure out if she showed it to me like on her phone. I'm trying to remember out if it's on hers or her brother's. I think it's on hers because she did the dessert. I can show it. Oh, because I remember what the picture looked like because I love the food. So she has a desperate woman that she works with that does these gorgeous, gorgeous plates that I kind of want to get because as I'm cooking at home too, that's the other thing is I want to get some really nice plates because as I'm cooking at home, I want to. I wonder if she has another Instagram. I want to start plating things nicely and posting that up too on Instagram.
Oh yeah, so you don't have to have like a full professional setup to do it.
No, it's just a matter of like, really quick, plate it, and then put it up. Where is her? I'll have to ask her for it. Yeah, she doesn't have it on this one. Might have been her bros. And I talked to my whiskey guy, and I was like, "Yo, I need to get in on the whiskey world situation." He was like, he's noodling that around.
Yeah.
By my whiskey guy, I mean one of the guys who he basically runs the beverage program at Brandy Library. Owned by the same person, owners. Well, he's not the owner, but he runs it. So, hey, we're friends because I come here and we drink all the time. What's up?
You gotta make friends, really.
I know that's so hard for me.
The relationship doesn't have a little bit more.
You need to be more talkative, Mark.
Yeah, no, actually it's so funny because I was like, I have to get business cards. Like somebody told me I needed to get business cards done in order. I got them from me and Daniela. We had a cooking weekend last week. And I was like, oh, here are your business cards. And she was actually going to some networking event that she was baking stuff for. And I was like, oh, well, you have business cards, so go play.
Just go bring those with you.
So we're getting out there. We're getting traction. I used an analogy this morning in my meeting with those guys being like, I feel like the train that's pulling out of the station when it's going super slow, like old-fashioned trains and the things like.
Or like the train we took yesterday that the lights would turn off and it would go. That old fashioned.
No. That's just old. there is no charm to that train. It's just old. That old fashioned might be slow, but you're like, oh, it's kind of nostalgic and there's some character, so you don't mind the things that might work as smoothly.
This is like zombies were gonna come on the train.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're in Jersey. Sorry.
Because New York can't be scary at all.
No, not at all. You just gotta navigate this.
I think Immaculate was kind of on her way. It sounds like she's probably not going to make it in time.
No, I think she's done so.
Well, she messaged me like, Magellan time, I'm late, sorry. Something. Oh, shit.
Good job.
But yeah, so I think we're good for Spotlight. And then what are your next steps? You're going to talk to Gianna?
I'm going to talk to Gianna and map out what we're going to do. Probably try to connect with Daniela, if not tonight, but tomorrow, just to be like, hey, girl, this is what we're thinking, whatever, and then sit down with her to really map out. Because if we're doing that way, I'm definitely going to want to plan out the dishes a bit more. Although if we go to farmer's market, then it'd be great to kind of go. I'll see what's around.